English Broken Businesses. We are all about Black excellence, bringing local entrepreneurs together to inspire and motivate you through business.
So it's simple. What you can do is to listen to this story and be inspired, and show to you guys nothing is impossible. If they can do it, so nathi singayenza bantwana basekhaya. Sit down and chill and listen to this wonderful story.
Follow your dreams.
Wake up and start the dream. Wake up and start the dream. Stop having excuses. My business was an abandoned dream, and now every time I wake up, I'm like, I'm never doing that again. I'm never betraying my dream. So that is one thing that wakes me up in the morning. Even at odd hours, like, I'm never abandoning my dream. I'm working on this every single day.
It's English Broken Business once again. Sitibeke libeke ivigi nevigi, the only channel that you can watch on YouTube that is here to inspire you, to motivate you, and only to remind him that it is possible. If Abanyabantu they could make it, now you can make it. Today I'm dressed up by a very phenomenal woman, very beautiful woman, and also talented woman with brains. You know. So if you are new to our channel, I would like you to do the subscribe button. And then you can also do the like button. You can drop your comment if maybe it's a fatuza, if maybe there's anything that you don't like about our comment or we should improve somewhere, you can drop the comment. But then if you like our work and you do follow us like religiously, Siyabonga Mtansekaya, do keep sharing those videos on your TikTok, on your Instagram, on your Facebook, on all your social media channel. Like I did say, we do mean it. We are here to share the inspiring stories, the motivational stories. Remember, we are not umgosi, we are not ushwash. We are here to bring you stories that are here to inspire you, and also to say, Pagama, if they could make it, now you can also make it. It's a thirsty Thursday, and I'm here once again at PV. I'm interviewing this phenomenal woman, but she's gonna introduce herself. Allow me to say, Sawubona siswami.
Sawubona.
Kunjani?
Philile.
You look nervous.
I'm a little bit nervous, yeah.
Is it? Okay, no, I'm good. Just relax. Just relax. Right? Beautiful weather, beautiful people, and you look good. And thanks for dressing me up, though.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. So, for our viewers that they don't know what usisungubani, uqhamukapi, wenzani, I would like you to introduce yourself. Usisungubani.
Usisi, well, beauty.
Beauty
Balangile. The founder of Gia Grazie, and also former Miss Cape Town.
Jeez.
Former Miss Cape Town, 2016.
Is it?
And I always say, I don't like to call myself former because I'll always be
You
Miss
always
Cape
be,
Town.
yeah.
2016, there'll never be another Miss 2016.
Never. You were the only one that time.
I was the only one.
Sure.
Yeah. So,
sure.
yeah.
Wow, okay, quite interesting. I didn't even know that you're a former Miss Cape Town. Now all I know is that you're a fashion designer.
Yes.
So, usisukulela sis Balangile.
Okay, so I was born and raised in different cities, provinces actually. So I was born from Eastern Cape, LA different.
Right.
My mom has always lived there, so it's always been my home.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a home I visit only in December. So I spent 12 years of my life in Northwest, in Klerksdorp, in a small little town.
Ndwana, shout out to Klerksdorp. I know Klerksdorp.
Shout out to Maglera, you know.
So wakhona bua Sesotho.
Ke bua Setswana, yeah.
Setswana. Actually, ke Setswana ko Klerksdorp. Okay, lovely. Okay, do you know Portuguese more?
Yes.
Yeah, I was there to, few years back, I was there to promote some of the designers, about Tutuzile, and then some other guys from the south side of Johannesburg at Portuguese Mall. So yeah, but they were sponsored by Uchet.
That's his hub. You know?
Exactly.
Because he went to the college that was very close to my school. And that's where the inspiration of being a fashion designer actually came from. Abukhert coming from Klerksdorp. And we were like, these guys, we see them on TV. And they just went next door. You know?
Understand,
so
sure.
it made the dream very very accessible. Yeah.
Wow, that's lovely. Okay, so let's just take it back, kancane, ne? You growing up a lady Frey, ne?
So I grew up in Klerksdorp,
Oh, okay.
but then I'm from Lady Frey.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I would go home during holidays. It's a little bit tricky because not a lot of people were raised the way I was raised. So at the age 4, my mom was about to turn 5. My mom took me to boarding school, which was like a drive away from home in Queenstown.
Jeez.
And then when I was about to turn 6,
Yeah.
a friend of hers was moving to Northwest.
Okay.
And she wanted to take her daughter with.
Yeah.
And her daughter and I were in the same boarding school. And she's like, oh, no, bring her along. The thing is, they speak a foreign language, and my daughter doesn't have friends to talk to.
Yeah.
So she wants somebody who will actually speak Xhosa and have a friend, you know?
Sure.
And then she was like, oh, but it's going to be the same way it is now because your daughter is currently in boarding school. And then I overheard the conversation. I remember hearing the conversation. And I remember being involved and being asked, like, do you want to go? And I was like, yeah, I want to go. And then I was gone. Then I was gone.
Sure.
Yeah. So whenever I'm asked my mom, like, Mom, you let a 4-year-old make a decision.
Oh.
But it was okay.
Yeah, that's
It didn't turn out bad.
that's how young you were at
Yeah,
the time.
at the time.
But I think, as you know, our parents they can see potential in us. You know,
yeah.
it doesn't matter the age. They can see potential at the age of 10 or at the age of 3, at the age of 5. You know, there's a lot of people that they were discovered. You know, Guti, they are actually good in singing at the age of 3.
Yeah.
You know, some people they were discovered at the age of 5, like your Michael Jacksons. You understand? So that means Umamako could see
The leader in me.
exactly.
Yeah. 'Cause I always say my self-discipline and my leadership skills started in boarding school, where I had to wake myself up, where I have to clothe myself and bathe myself, where I have to basically take care of myself. We did have aunties that would help, you know, but the aunties were also busy and were like lots of kids, you know. So I knew if I didn't wake up before the other kids, I'm going to have a cold shower.
Exactly.
So to avoid a cold shower, wake up before everyone.
Then you can have a hot shower.
And then you can have a hot shower. Or you have somebody joining you in the shower. You know. Yeah.
So that taught you to be responsible. Yeah. Wow, lovely. So do you have any siblings?
I have 2 older brothers.
Okay.
So they were also sent to boarding school. And then when I was 9 years old, my mom decided, okay, boarding school is expensive. She was a single mom, trying to raise 3 kids, all in different schools. So it would be cheaper for her to have us in one place to rent an apartment. She rented an apartment in Stilfontein.
Okay.
And then the 3 of us just lived there until so the older one matriculated first, and then the other one left school, and then I also left school. So until we all finished school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, Sis Beauty, ne? For our viewers and everyone that is watching us, our program, it's all about educating, motivating, inspiring. That is what English Broken Business is about. So I know that now you are in a fancy office. You know, you look good, you look sharp, you know. And maybe someone might say, yeah, but Beauty, Ukulele, you know,
Yeah.
a family that had everything. Utata was there, Umamake was there, you know. And I normally say to people that your background is very important to the people that are watching. You understand? Doesn't matter whether you were born out of wedlock or in a wedlock, or you were raised by a single parent, or you were raised by both parents. You understand? Because the people that are watching our channel, it's different types of people. You understand? So we need to encourage and motivate each and everyone. So I'm just going to ask background yako. Did you have both parents growing up?
No, my dad was, I don't even know what career he was in. I know he was in business, but I don't even know what kind of business he was doing. So my dad was not really that involved. I do have a memory of him visiting us in Klerksdorp.
Okay.
my dad had an alcoholic issue, so I think my mom was also trying to protect us from that. I remember this one time he actually came to visit, and my mom called me and said, "Your dad's in town," and I was about to leave the house. She says, "Do not let him know where you guys live." And because she was trying to protect us from the whole situation. So most of my memories as a child is when I do see my dad was, I think the last time I saw him, I was actually 12 years old. Jeez. Was him drunk, or him smelling like alcohol. So a part of me always felt, I guess I don't feel like I'm hurt that much that my dad wasn't there, because I don't feel he would have been a responsible dad, or the dad that I wanted and needed. So, and then my mom was always in Eastern Cape, and I would see her during holidays.
Sure.
And then my three brothers, we kind of self-raised to some extent. So I didn't really live the luxurious life, or I didn't have it easy.
Sure.
Because technically it was a child-headed home. I had to make sure, my mom would send money at the end of the month,
Sure.
and I would make sure that the rent is paid, my school fees is paid, and then when I do go and buy groceries, it lasts the whole month. I remember there was a time when I was 10 years old, so this was a year after experiencing living alone without two parents. My mom had a phone, and she had visited us for June holidays.
Sure.
And I was taking her to the taxi that's going to take her to the bus to go back to Eastern Cape.
Sure.
And then she had forgotten that she'd given me her phone. So her phone rang before the taxi left. So I ran back and to give her the phone. And then I noticed, because she was sitting by the window, that she was crying. So I knocked on the window and I asked her, like, "You left your phone, and why are you crying?" And then she said to me, it's not easy for me to leave you guys. And I'm like, "But then why do you leave us?" And then she says that she has to work. And I understand now, being a single mom, what that actually means. So that day, it's like I truly understood. Like, I forgave my mom for the whole situation. I didn't have any negative feelings. And I know there were even people growing up saying, "Oh, she's going to hate her mom when she grows up."
Yeah.
Because what
It's
her
always
mom
the
is,
case. Sure.
or she's gonna fall pregnant as a teenage, or she's going to, and I think that day I made a decision with myself. I'm gonna help my mom, and I'm going to not be what people assume me to be or going to become.
Yeah.
I remember even after that incident, I got my first job.
Gee.
I created my first job. So because we were living in an apartment.
Yeah.
And you know, mixed race so I noticed some white people don't like to wash their dishes. So
Okay.
so the apartments that we lived in it was a lodge before they turned it into monthly rental. And so there was a communal dishwashing area and laundry area.
Sure.
So I wrote a sign there and said, "Look, if you want to wash dishes, if you want your dishes clean, I'm the person.
I'm here."
I'm here. 303 was our room number. So 303, contact 303.
Sure.
And then and then I started washing dishes. I started with like charging people 5 rand.
You lying.
And eventually I noticed there is some pots are being burned. It's an additional 2 rand.
And now it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. And I think that's how the love of fashion actually started to grow in me, because with that money I would buy myself toys. My brothers are very spoiled.
Okay.
And so they would always be demanding my mom money. And I remember my oldest brother used to change phones every month. So I told myself I'm not going to do that, because my mom works hard for her money.
Yeah, of course.
So I would buy myself toys. I would go to Pep store, and the dolls were like, you know, the ones that don't have hair.
Yeah.
So I would buy that for like, it started with $1.99, then it was like Until it was like 2 rand and then 3 rand and then eventually it was like 5 rand.
Sure.
So I'd go to the shop and I'd sit down on the floor and I'd pick who's going home with me. Then when I take them home, it's like a fashion show. I'm sewing clothes for them. I'm doing their braids.
These are dolls.
Dolls. I had lots of them.
Jeez.
I had lots of them. So yeah. I think that's when the work ethic in me grew. And I groomed it. And I remember when I was going into high school, I had a conversation with myself, my first boardroom meeting.
Okay.
So I asked myself, I'm going to high school.
Sure.
So playing with dolls is no longer cool.
Yeah. Somdala.
Senimdala.
Abunumpopi.
But then I asked myself, what do I really like about playing with dolls? And I don't want to wash dishes anymore.
Okay.
So how can I make money? And what can I do that will actually be fun for me? So I started doing my own hair. And then my friends would be like, oh, we like your hairstyle. Then I'd be like, oh, come over the weekend. Then I'd do my friend's hair and then get paid. So I didn't immediately go into making clothes because I didn't have access to a sewing machine or somebody to even teach me.
Or maybe even knowing where the fabric is being sold.
It's being sold,
Sure,
yeah. So, but the desire's been there. And then I used to do sketches. I started sketching.
Sure.
And I would also, after sketching, and then I'd show my friends, then I befriended another clothing designer. And so we would somewhat compete, but I wasn't competing, but she would compete. And then eventually, because I trusted her and she was my friend, eventually she says to me, you know what, you're never going to be a designer. Because we were, this is my best friend in school. But because we were so close, I believed her. So I decided, okay, if I'm not going to be a fashion designer, I am going to be a very good businesswoman.
Oh, my beauty. Why did she say to you, you'll never be a fashion
designer?
Why did she say that? Is it because she failed and then she thought, now I'm a failure?
And it's so funny. The day she actually said that to me was she had been showing the teachers our designs and everyone liked my designs. Everyone she asked liked what I created.
Wow. And
I think it came from that place of being disappointed.
So it's kind of like a little jealousy, if I can't make it.
If I can't,
now this is when it comes back to English broken business, which never ever make or take, let me just put it like this, never ever take someone's failures to become your reality, you know. There's people like us, you know, where we're from, you know, who have started businesses. I talk about people, people that try to tengisa impahla, people that try to tengisa igwinya, people that try to become fashion designers, people that try to open a car wash, you know. And because they failed, they will come back to you and say, this thing is not gonna work, you know. I tried it, I've been there, customers are not gonna come, people are not gonna buy. So the fact that they failed, it doesn't mean that you are gonna fail, you know. So never ever take other people's failures as your own reality, you know. La when about failure corner, just find ways how to improve and how to make it better. So if you know of someone in Kaslako, maybe who once owned a car wash, and that car wash is no longer there, it doesn't mean that the car wash is succeed at Kaslako. If you know someone who was a fashion designer and then that person stopped designing clothes, and then now you have got that fear with, son, if I can start now, you know, designing clothes, people are not going to come, people are not going to support me. That is their story. That is their journey. You've got a different journey. So this is what Usis Beauty is explaining to us, Guti. The friend said, you'll never become a fashion designer. But then now, the teachers and everybody else loved hair designs, you know, just because the other friend, they didn't like hair designs or she never got the compliment that she was getting. but you still pushed. It is ukuthi usisiphithi usiphatheleni. Sure, you can continue.
Yeah, so after that, because I was also young, I took it in and I was like, okay, if I'm not going to be a fashion designer, then
So
I'm
when
going
you
to
want believe,
I believed her.
Jeez.
I believed her.
Very dangerous.
Very
That's very
dangerous.
dangerous, bro.
So I then decided I'm going to be a very good businesswoman. And then I focus my energy in becoming a very good businesswoman. Like even running my mini salon at home on weekends. And started focusing on how can I make money and create money. And then to fast forward a few years later, I kind of abandoned the dream.
Yeah. The fashion designing dream. Sure.
But I knew that I was going to become a very good
businesswoman. Sure.
And then from there on, I left school, went to work. And then she actually went and studied fashion design. And then from there on, I went overseas because I wanted to travel a bit. Yes.
Gee.
So I actually wanted to travel and live in a foreign land and actually wanted to feel like a resident. And I looked for options on how to or where to get the cheapest way to go there because I don't come from a rich family.
Of course, yeah.
And I find au pairing as the best option at that time. And I loved working with kids. So I became an au pair to 4 kids. 2 were biological to the couple, to the host family.
Sure.
And then 2 were adopted from Ethiopia.
So just imagine, where are you now overseas? Which country?
In Denver, Colorado, and USA.
Oh, jeez. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So so I lived there and experienced life, and actually it broadened my way of thinking and my view of life.
Yeah, your level of capacity of thinking. Sure.
Yeah. So even learning how to drive in snow. So I just learned so many things there. Wow. It was an amazing experience. And I got to experience something I'd never thought I'd experience. Having 2 healthy grown-ups in one household, a mother and a father. And I felt like a kid. And just even watching them interact in a healthy manner, that was an eye-opener for me.
Wow.
It gave me the desire to actually want my own family one day.
Sure.
Because I'd written off that because I was like, I'm just going to work my whole life.
Do the 9 to 5 like everybody else. Sure.
So it was an amazing experience, and it actually gave me a childhood that I didn't have. Because I was a child and I did play and I did have friends, but I didn't have a mom and dad. Let's sit down. And when there was an issue, let's sit down. When Beauty has a car accident, let's sit down and discuss it.
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah. So what are we going to do now? And this is, working and processing things through. And I enjoyed that. Wow. And I'm so grateful for that.
Wow.
Yeah, they're an amazing host family. Yeah, and then I came back. Decided I wanted to start a business, so I went back to having a hair salon in Eastern Cape.
Oh, okay.
And at the time, my mind was just, I want to build a business that would actually, because I was still young, I was 22 at the time, I decided I wanted to build something for the family.
Wait, Beauty. So you travel at what age?
I traveled at 20.
At the age of 20?
At the age of 20.
So when I was on a passport?
Listen, a passport, 2010.
2010. And then you decided, let me just go and see the world. Yes. Let me just go and travel.
And explore, yeah.
And explore, This is very important because remember, you are a female, you are a woman, you are a lady. Umuntu ongusis. Some of our followers here, or our religious followers, I call them like that, they are our religious followers, our patriots that are watching. They are ladies, they are women. And I've been having this conversation now recently, because even myself, I'm not from here, Cape Town. I'm from Joes, you know, and growing up, I never loved ukhlala ekhaya. I never. Not that there was any problem. No, 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 no. I was, me and my mind, I always love exploring, you know, going to stay far. Not that I love my family to bits, and they know that, right? Then now we have a situation, this is 2023, né? We have a situation whereby women, I'm gonna use this scenario because I'm talking to a woman now. Women will use a man kind of like a bridge for them to achieve whatever that they want to achieve, right? Uthi, I chomi, ufuna umsebenzi, there's this guy. You understand? I chomi, ufuna piece of life.
There's a guy.
Yes, there's this guy. You know. So nowadays, men have become like a bridge for women. And that's a fact. I might get comments that are not okay, that are not good, that are bashing, but this is the reality pillar we on. You know?
It's a very sad reality.
It's a sad reality,
It's a very
you know.
sad
Hi, Choma Pangeli. There's guys, you know, in whatever location, apartment that I don't want to be mentioning now, you know. Masipa Chomi, dress yourself, have your miniskirt, you know. You know, and everything. Let's just go there. Those guys will take care of us. We'll have data. We'll have the smartphones. We'll have money and all that and all that and all that. Now, when you mention this, Uguti, you saw a niche or you saw a gap or you saw a need where let me start traveling at the age of 20. It's so unfortunate, Uguti, nowadays, now as we speak in 2023, it's not every lady that can tell you to own a passport or they want to travel or they want to see the world. I mean, like even next door is like Botswana, you know, like SADC, Botswana or Lesotho or Zambia or Zimbabwe. You don't get that, you know. So it's always like now, it's kind of like an opportunity when they see a man with money or they see a man with a car or they see a man, yes, you know, or they see a man dressed smart and they, this is a jackpot, you know? And I must applaud you for that, Owoti. At the time, there was no man around. There was no rich guy. There was no blesser ne? That said, I'm going to bless you. Let's just have an agreement, Minanawe, and then I can take you all over the world. So that alone should inspire other ladies. Owoti, you went to see the world. You went to explore the world, not on anyone's responsibility or on anyone's account. You did it on your own. Yeah. And it has to inspire our sisters from Ekas because we live there.
And to actually be honest, the temptation is always there within every generation. This whole thing of the only thing is that the intensity is increasing.
Okay.
There's always a temptation to have a man or be looking for a man. Even at that time, I had some friends that would say, no, date this guy is a millionaire. No, stay in the country, you'll just go to Dubai or to this country and this country. No, have things easy, man. You just like the hard things. So there's always going to be people that are encouraging that kind of life. And the only sad thing is that it's, with social media, it's becoming more and more intense. But I would advise is just make different decisions, especially when you want to build and you want to build your own. Because even if you get that platform, you get that guy that's going to take you there, you haven't taken the steps and the knowledge. You haven't walked that journey.
So you have to come back. Yes, because you never took the steps.
Is hard.
Sure.
So, so, and because of the way I was raised, I've always been self-sufficient. It's a strength and it's also a weakness. But yeah, I'd rather have that as my strength.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was just easy for me to, okay, I want to travel. This is what I want. So let me look at other options.
Sure.
Au pairing. I don't have to be sleeping with anyone. You know, it's
And
it's an option. Yes.
And some McDonald's.
You know?
KFC.
Yeah. So and it actually, you know, what's sad is that it actually takes away from a person. The more you give of yourself and you give it for
dignity, right?
temporary pleasures,
it's gone.
and then you're left empty and broken.
Yeah.
And then so it just doesn't create a really good person. At the end of
And
the
sonke
day.
masesibone try with beauty. Been there, done that. And then the other one, been there, done that.
And then you look happy on Instagram, but actually inside you're actually dying. So
wow.
yeah. So yeah, we want to stay alive.
Wow.
No,
I love what I do, you know. I love what I do because sometimes when it comes from us as English broken business or myself personally as women, you know, it's kind of like maybe I hate women, I hate females, but I'm glad today that I'm having a conversation with you and you can encourage other women, Uti.
Yeah.
Don't use a man as a bridge for you to get where you want to get. Yes, you can get there very quick, very fast. You know, you can be an instant millionaire or you can be an instant well-known influencer. But the thing is, because it didn't take the steps, you still have to come back. So Ntanayami, let's just now discuss the mpahlas, the designs, you know, the style. So what's happening now? Then this is beauty. And then when did you start this brand?
So Gia Grazie was actually born in 2019.
Yeah.
So I was in my rock bottom years or the wilderness years.
Okay, 2019.
So 2019. So what happened is that, okay, I came back to South Africa, built a business, and then left home.
Sure.
Left my brother to manage it, and then started working my own career out.
Yeah.
And I got into real estate.
Oh.
And then I started as a real estate assistant in Pretoria.
Oh, Pitor,
And then I moved back for the wrong reasons. Moved to Cape Town for a guy, but it ended.
Oh, shit. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it didn't work out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, after moving to Cape Town, I started building my real estate career. And then I got bored of real estate in 2016. I decided, what other things did I want as a child? What other childhood dreams do I have? And then I remembered when I was 4 years old, I watched Basetsana become Miss South Africa.
Ah, shout out to Mrs. Basetsana Khumalo. Shout out to her.
So I was like, okay, that is my top number one on my bucket list. I'm doing that.
Modeling.
And then, so I tried. Look, I'd never modeled as a professional modeling thing. And then I tried doing a beauty pageant. I spoke to a friend of mine. I'm like, I'm thinking of doing this, but I'm not sure. She's like, do it. Jeez. Just do it.
Do it, yeah.
And then I did it. My first ever pageant. And
Yeah.
I won and I became Miss Cape Town.
Jeez. This was your first?
My very first. And
then you just became Mrs. Cape Town?
Mrs. Cape Town.
Miss
Cape Town, yeah.
Miss Cape Town, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And what I learned in that is actually to always maintain a sense of self-confidence.
Yeah.
Because when I was competing with girls that were thinner than me, that were more beautiful, more experienced, that had a better walk than me. But whenever we'd sit down in situations and we'd talk as girls, I'd notice how low their self-esteem is. They were busy comparing themselves with this one and comparing themselves with the other one. And I said, but girls, we are actually very unique. And how about we embrace what we already have? And I focused on embracing myself. And that's where my confidence became. I didn't focus on, that one has 7 titles, or this one has 2 titles, and I have the other one had a charity,
you know. Focus on what you have.
Yeah. So it was an interesting journey, and there were actually times, because of the drama, I'm not used to drama. Yeah. So there were times, the girl drama, that drama was like, is this even worth it? I'm getting paid way more in real estate that what I'm
Than
gonna
this,
get here.
yeah.
So is this even worth it? So yeah. And then when I won, I was like, yeah, it was definitely worth it.
Wow.
It was definitely worth
So
it.
this, which year is this now?
This was 2016.
2016. So you became Miss Cape Town.
Miss Cape
And
Town.
this was your first
My very
beauty
first.
pageant.
My very first.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you know, another interesting thing is that I think you are very Martin, you are very grounded when it comes to your persona. You are very grounded when it comes to Africa bakho, bumnyama bakho, who you are. Because I mean, even now you hardly find. Not that I've got a problem with ladies that they wear their weaves to enhance themselves. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. But just you coming natural the way you are, and a little bit of a makeup and all that, and then umbhaco. So that says a lot about you, because I remember some other time I was interviewing this lady, and then she said to me, you know what, Menzi, kumele ufikeleleke. Ne? Kumele ufikelele, because remember, your business is not in the burbs. Your business is not in town. Your business is based here, ekas. You know, like when we just look there, what we see. Iloyishi, Imikuku, RDP, right? So if now you're all going to look, you know, millionaire and Instagram. Then now those girls and those people that they might be potential clients to you, bazokusaba because I'll figure you understand? But if you just look simple, you know, even a girl in high school or even someone who's just passing around, be like, can you just design me something? You understand? Because your look says a lot about you. And I know it takes a lot of what you call, it takes a lot of a strong self-esteem to say, this is how I want to look. And I feel okay about myself. I feel beautiful about myself. I don't need anyone's, you know, opinion to say, but not too short on your Facebook.
Yeah. Yes. And I get that a lot. I get that a lot. Look, where I'm at with my business, yes, I do have a team that helps me.
Oh, okay.
And that helps me sew, but I also sew.
Oh, okay.
Even this morning, I didn't come up with makeup because I was working with white fabric.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to make the garment dirty. So I put on the fabric the makeup for the interview.
Sure.
So I'm content with where I'm at. I'm content with who I am. I'm Xhosa, I'm African, but I'm not your typical Xhosa, because some Xhosa words I can't read Xhosa so perfectly. I can't write it so perfectly. But I love my culture. I love who I am.
Lovely.
I love that I'm a mix of both. Even my designs, it's a bit of European, it's a bit of Xhosa. Wow. It reflects who I am, and this is where I'm at. Wow. And I've learned to be content. I'm not trying to be somebody else. They're doing them, and they're okay.
Yeah. And you're just
I'm
doing you.
And I'm okay. And I'm okay. And I'm loving it.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it. So,
wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how has it been, reception la ekasi? Other people coming, other people supporting?
Yes, I remember when I moved here in Philippi Village, when I started renting here. And I asked myself, like, I don't know a lot of people here. I'm still new in town. Am I going to get, like, foot traffic? And all I did was just to open my doors, and people came. So I'm always grateful for that. And how I even started the business was through God's grace, which is actually the business name. It's God's graciousness. It's Gia, a shortened Italian name for God's graciousness.
Sure.
And the story behind Grazie is actually what I wanted was a brand that sounded like a name and a surname that was exotic and also internationally appealing.
Sure.
And so in my findings, I wanted Grazia, which is Latin, because I was Googling God's graciousness in different languages.
Sure.
So the one in Latin and the one in Italian sounded
Yeah.
more appealing as a name and a surname.
Sure.
However, when I went to register at CIPC, I misspelled it. So
Okay.
instead of TIA, I wrote ZIE, which actually is a pleasant word, which means thank you.
Oh.
And which is my heart, because I'm always
Yeah.
very grateful.
Grateful,
and,
sure.
and I live under God's grace.
Wow.
So yeah,
Wow.
that is that
Wow.
is my brand.
So for someone maybe who's watching now, like, oh wow, I like what you guys are wearing. Like, like this is your scarf, this is your bucket hat. You know, I'm all about Grazie. And thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Are you getting a lot of maybe people people that are getting married, people that have got ceremonies and all that? Are you getting such clients?
Yeah, I get people who want to go to attending events.
Oh, okay.
And then I also get the local ladies that are attending traditional events.
Sure.
To Mikidi, and then some we even traditional healers coming.
Yeah,
coming by
Izangoma.
for their own outfits.
Yeah.
So I have people from all walks of life, and I have people even in town. I have to sometimes travel to Tokai. Because
far as
somebody
Tokai?
wants, because somebody wants an outfit. So I get a lot of different people. The more I meet people, the more people are interested.
Wow.
Yeah.
But do you deliver in time though?
Do I deliver in time? Yes. So we try to be on time, but then we also sometimes have load shedding issues.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a very good communicator, so I always communicate with my
Very
customers.
important,
Like,
very important.
okay, this is the issue, but we always on time.
On time.
Yeah.
Wow, lovely. So you've got a team that you work with.
Yes.
Did you employ people?
So I did employ, and I also have interns as well.
Interns, wow.
Yeah.
So if there's anyone that's watching and then is like, yo, I'm doing my last year now as a fashion designer at Scala, maybe it's a CPUT or a College of Cape Town, and I would like to meet Usis Beauty and become an intern, are you that accessible?
I'm that accessible.
Is it?
And I love those people.
Oh, jeez.
I'm that accessible. I love them. Yeah.
Wow. No, thank you so much, Sis Beauty. I know with me now we can talk like until the sun, goes down. But as English broken business, we thank you so much, Siswami, for inviting us into your space. The weather is beautiful, and I know that you are hectic. We also hectic on our side. We've got other things to do, other people to interview. But we can only wish you all the best. A few weeks ago, we saw Ufarrell was collaborating with Louis Vuitton. You understand? And that tells you, Uti, the sky is not just the limit. We are here today, but we don't know 5 years to come, 10 years to come, where you gonna be. So just keep aiming high, Mtansekhaya. Just keep aiming high, stay in that dream, and keep doing you. Like ignore the noise and keep doing you. Keep inspiring other ladies out there. And before I can just close this interview, can you just give one advice or two advice to our sisters out there? You can just look at that camera, please.
I mean, the one thing I can really, that's a real highlight for me is wake up and start the dream. Wake up and start the dream. Stop having excuses. My business was an abandoned dream. And now every time I wake up, I'm like, I'm never doing that again. I'm never betraying my dream. So that is one thing that wakes me up in the morning. Even at odd hours, like I'm never abandoning my dream. I'm working on this every single day. Whether I feel like it, whether I don't feel like it. Even this morning I walked in and I'm like, team, I'm still a bit tired. I went to bed very late. But hey, I'm here and I'm going to wake up. So, yeah.
Yeah. So It's English broken business bafethi sithi beke libeke iviki neviki lena mayigcwala itrati bafethi hasimangli mang hasi everybody you can see bafethu I look sharp I look beautiful the mpahlas the designs and everything ne sister la usis beauty and this was for you our beloved sister siyanthanda busisi bethu siyanthanda you know we love you so much and it's to show you ukuthi you can also make it. You don't need a man. You don't need a blesser. You know, you don't need a blesser.
You don't.
If the dream is there, if Leantu ay poop and the vision is there, you can make it. You can make it, you know, without anyone like will be telling you on your social media or telling people around, yeah, I made you, I funded you, and you understand. So just do you, you know, stay in your lane. Forget about the social media pressure, forget about the Instagram pressure. If other people, they are already there at the top, it's okay. Be happy for them when I just take it step by step. So sofika lapha mntansekhaya. So siyayivala ke as English Broken Business and yes, I would like to say to Usis Beauty, how do we get hold of you? Drop your number, drop your email. Strictly business, please. Strictly business. Agnamashelan. Strictly business.
Well, you can definitely email either beauty@giagrazie.com or info@giagrazie.com. And then you can find us on Instagram at GIAGRAZIE SA. That's Gia Grazie SA on Instagram. And then on Facebook, it's just Gia Grazie.
Danko is thank you. Bekeli beke vigi ne vigi bafethu. Thank you so much. Say vala bafethu. Next again, we are gonna be dropping another inspirational story from someone from the hood, from Bekasi, not from the burbs. Amachitala is cooler now. My sister is cooler now. You know. So it's such an inspirational story bafethu. Please. Just take some advices from her and then funda we how did she make it? It's never easy. It's not easy, I believe. It's never easy, you know. But just take some advice from her and let us grow Mtansekaya. We are back again next week, Thursday. We're dropping you another inspirational story. Thank you so much.